And now, your systems go with Michael Duffy.
Hey, welcome to this week's Systems Minute. When some of you may not know, I spent over 20 years in the restaurant business. And I remember when I took over my first restaurant, and I was following a guy who was like a legend in the company. He opened the very first unit in the company, and they're like, oh, those are big shoes to fill. And a year later, we had got the sales increased in that restaurant by over 50%. And they're all like, well, how did you do this? I mean, this guy was just such a great manager. Same menu, same everything. Nothing changed except for how we approached the operations of the restaurant. All I did was come in and systematize a lot of things that they were doing to make everything flow more efficiently and be able to process or move more customers through there in a short period of time, because lunch rush was so insane that you only had an hour and a half to make all your money, basically. So all we do is built-in systems and efficiencies. And you can do the same thing in your business or even in your daily life. So what we're going to do today is talk about 3 things you can do to put a system into anything that you do. Step 1, you're going to want to write down every detail related to the system that you want to put in place. So if you have a task you're looking to systematize, or a part of your business or your entire business, write down every little detail related to that task that you want to systematize. Step number 2, take all of those items you have on that big master list and begin to group them into like categories. As an example, in a real estate transaction, like categories would be marketing, the items related to the contract, escrow. And the reason you're going to do that in this stage is in case you want to later on hire somebody to do some of these items for you, which ideally you'll want to do that. So if you have things that are related to marketing, you can find somebody that's good at marketing and they can handle that section for you. So take all that stuff and group it into light categories, and you'll be ready for step 3. And the third thing would be place the groups of items in sequential order. So line up those groups in a chronological order in which they should take place, and then make that your template. Template that as the way you do this task every time. And of course, this is coming, automate it. If you can automate it in any way, do that. You should always have a hard copy of this process around so that you follow that template. Now, if you can use electronic means to have a template, even better. For example, you have a calendar system that whenever you do this thing, you just put it in your calendar. I put in things like go to the gym in my calendar, just so I don't have to think about it. It just says, boop, pops up, and then that's what I do at that time. We have in our Smart Agent system a process called a to-do follow-up plan. You can preset any type of follow-up plan you want to, and then you can just trigger that whenever you want, and it'll pop up in your calendar and say, hey, it lays out the chronological sequence for you, done, no thought. It just pops up, tells you what to do, when to do it, and you go do it. And of course, always be open to making your process more efficient. Don't be an old dog. You can definitely learn new tricks at any time. And finally, whenever possible, outsource it. If you got a task that's a template, it could be done by somebody who has free time on their hands, and you can stick to the things you're best at, then always do that when possible. That's it. We'll see you next time.